goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the internet, people of the internet, for the first time since like June of last year.
It was May 23rd.
Was it May of last year?
Yep, May 23rd. You could see my role in the chat.
No,
Nice.
this year though.
No,
Right?
No.
I don't think that's right. We haven't played this year.
No, last year.
No,
Yeah.
no, May 23rd of 2022 was our last episode.
Yeah,
Real?
I know.
Sure was.
It's insane. Who are you
You're
people
right.
even?
It was.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's a lie. It looks like there was a roll by Ash on July 11th. So
Yeah, I
let's see
have
here.
notes.
Let's get to the bottom
July
of
11th.
the
Yeah.
chat.
Me?
July
So-
11th.
The
was
last
it?
one, not this one.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
one
was
that
like,
just passed.
Yeah. The one prior.
Yeah.
The one prior to this last one.
In
Insane.
can we all
That's
agree
right,
to not have this just be like our annual game? Like,
no,
Yeah.
so
It's
no,
not even annual
no way.
at this point.
No
this
way.
is 15.
Yeah.
This is 15, 14 months, 13 months. I
Yeah.
think at this point.
It's more than that.
Entirely.
You guys remember that game that I missed because we found out my wife is pregnant? Because that daughter will be 2 in 3 weeks.
Oh man! All right.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
The shame, the
God,
shame,
I-
the shame. But
I
since
mean, it
then,
just
guys,
happens, dude.
yeah, since then, we finished our campaign of Knights Black Agents, which I caught up on all my edits, so you'll be able to see those last couple of episodes
Oh,
in the next
shit.
week. We played a bunch of Pendragon. My character went batshit crazy and is running around throwing feces at things in the woods. And so we've got some new cast members coming in until I, talk to someone about my issues. We kicked off a campaign of Vampire the Masquerade. One episode in there, still kind of doing some of the pre-production stuff. And we played some Vile Dawn. So channel is alive and healthy. And what's funny is consistently we get asked to get busy and get back to the Deadlands. So that's why we're here. I'm going to go around the horn, though, because I haven't seen these people. I don't even remember. Larry, is it? Blue shirt, Larry? Larry?
Yep.
All right, Larry.
I changed my name this past year too. So
Nice. John, tell us, what the hell?
Well, let's see what has happened.
Don't
in
tell
the
us
past
everything,
year.
just
Let's see.
the high notes.
I moved, so I'm back in Orlando. Yes, I was in Tampa for at least one session of this, and then I moved back to Orlando. A new job, same company, new job.
Right on.
and
Congratulations.
Yeah, got to go to Japan for our overdue honeymoon a few months ago. So I think those are probably the highlights of the past year.
What was one thing that you were surprised by going to Japan as a American?
Tokyo, being much larger than New York City, was the cleanest and quietest city I've ever been to. It was bizarre.
That is
Subway, toilets, perfectly clean and usable. Like, bizarre.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have horrible stories of New York subways that are not, I mean, they're usable.
exactly.
Anything's usable, really, but
Well, okay, yeah.
not so great. All right, then. Byron's doing some calisthenics. Look at that, getting some exercise in. Let's go over to Mike. Mike, what the hell's going on, man?
Yeah, man. Hey, it's been a long time. Things
Four
have
more
things have-
kids.
Yeah.
No, still just the 2, but the second one is now walking and doing her best to tell me everything that's on her mind, which is fantastic. We had a hell of a summer. We got to go to Alaska and do some glacier walks and all kinds of crazy excursion type stuff. So that was a blast. And then work is good. Personal projects are great. Yeah, that's about it.
That is amazing. Did you pet any bears? While you
No,
were in
I didn't
Alaska?
pet any bears, but I did come within like a foot and a half of an American eagle, the wingspan of like 8 feet, and we got to see.
Why? Was it just hanging out? You just walked up to it, or what? Like, how
No. We had taken this boat like upriver, like this little like river tour thing, and the dude on the boat was like, "Hey, you want to see something kind of cool?" And he pulls out these like dead fish, and he just starts like dropping them near the boat right up on the water, and you just see the thing.
man.
Swooped right up. It was so cool.
That's awesome.
You get to see some humpback whales and things. I did not see a bear. That was like the one thing I really wanted to see. But we saw sea lions and whales and all kinds of other stuff.
That's awesome. All right. So, world traveler, adventurer extraordinaire, Byron, what the hell are you doing?
man,
What are you up to?
just running way too many RPGs. For I guess our cast members or anybody who doesn't watch the other streams would not know that I have exited the restaurant business last August and no longer doing that. I am now the general manager of a local game store, and it is amazing.
So
So yeah, I
of
got
your
back to
job.
commission painting. Been doing that, of course, trying to come up with stuff to run on stream, and we launched Fall of London, the Vampire the Masquerade game. It's gonna be awesome. Bringing a new cast member on tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
That's right. Chantel, right?
Yeah, Chantel. That's about it, man. Doing stuff at the shop. Kicked off a Warhammer Fantasy roleplay game at the shop. I'm running Pathfinder 2 Abomination Vaults and a Vampire the Masquerade campaign at the shop. And then every other Wednesday I do Delta Green. So yeah, I'm all over the place.
That is
So
awesome.
I don't even know what game system this is.
I don't either. Doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah. So let's, last but certainly not least, the lovely, the talented Len. How the hell have you been? It's been a year. I'm so sorry. You okay? All's well?
I'm sorry too. We've just been busy.
You still tell me
I
about
don't
the
really have-
spindle. Are you still doing the spindle thing? Is that still kicking or what?
I'm trying to resurrect it. I had a staffing issue. We had some issues with a few people who were running games for me, and they kind of cut and ran with half my people. And I was like, all right, well, so I'm still trying to figure out a way to get more people to sign on so I can start running public events again. But I've actually been playing with Pathfinder 2nd Edition Abomination Vaults with
Nice.
a couple of people from that. We're like tentatively putting it out as a podcast on Spotify, which is very funny. It's only just for us to be able to be like, what did we do last session? We'll play for like 5 hours. But yeah, pretty much just that and bartending. So the project will resurrect itself when I have more time and energy. But for now, I'm just happy to sit and hang out and play games with friends.
We are so happy to have you. And I will say there are some incredibly talented GMs on this channel who would travel to Maine to run games if that was a thing that we could do. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
All right. So rumor has it we're here to play Star Wars. No. Did I have that right?
Sold.
Yeah,
I would
John.
love to. Let's go.
Man, just ran one. I can run another one.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
it.
actually a lot of fun.
I would love for you to run it. I could never do it, especially not with a player like you that knows all the lore. I would butcher it.
Excuse you, that Gamorrean actually originated from this planet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd love to play it. Never want to run it. Too much information, just like Jason. Nope, too much for me.
John, let's talk after this. We can nerd out about Star
Yeah,
Wars.
I'm down.
I will play all day long. I do love me some Star
Man.
Wars. But are you ready? Are you ready to do this thing? And do you remember what we do before we do the thing? Can you get it?
The yeehaw.
All right, let's do this. Let's do it. Come on. 1, 2, 3.
Aw.
When last we had the pure pleasure of spending some time in the Deadlands, our posse had gotten themselves on a train. Now we're not really talking about a normal train. We're talking about a godforsaken, condemned, evil spirit-infested vessel intended to carry souls from a near-forgotten ghost town to the other side. And I don't mean New York City. That was this train before that damn map, scarred into Dobbs' flesh, led them, the posse, to jump aboard. Now, John, Dobbs, and Nate were all a little worse for the wear, having tangoed a little too closely with old Lefty Houser and his dead 7 at Carrion Station. They was just bleeding like stuck pigs on this train, leaving little drops on the floor, a little bit on the doorknob here and there, down the hallway, and all the hell over their compartment. One might have said they were on the appropriate train for the situation. But old Ash, well, she didn't waste a moment. She used her near-dead, ghost rock cancer-having charm to convince a very dead doctor, who'd apparently strangled himself to death doing God knows what in his long johns. Anyhow, he got straight to doctoring, and even with the necktie, in a funny clear bag tied real tight over his head. It was John's fault, not mine. Everybody got all patched up. Now, the last thing we remember is that choking feller making his way out of the compartment with a bowl of very bloody bandages. And as the door closes behind you, you can hear this sort of sound fading away down the hallway in the car. The camera finds us, my fine players, in the compartment. You are patched up, but still in a lot of pain. I believe all your wounds were healed, but you're still beat the hell up from having been shot and stabbed and whatever else happened to you. Where is Ash in all this? You've watched for the last few hours the doc working away past his plastic bag. What's going on with Ash?
I think that as soon as the doctor has left and she like realizes that like, well, that's finally over. I think she just kind of like sits back and starts chain smoking.
Nice.
Just trying to recenter herself after what she just witnessed.
Yeah. So how's about a spirit roll? So you're gonna and all of your, I'll give you back your 3 bennies. Let's all remember. So a couple things. Why can't I see the? Never mind. I'm using a different computer to see dice rolls. So.
Oh.
Nice. Hang on. There
I've seen it all.
Nice. So you have. So you're sitting there and you're kind of trying to understand what you've seen. Of course, there was the dead boy. There was the bartender who gave you the bottle of tequila that you're sipping out of, who served you this bottle of tequila and then turned and of course had a big hole in his face. For those who didn't see the prior episode, I asked the players to describe these people and their dark sides came up. And then there was a guy who'd been kicked in the head by a horse that Mike mentioned, who had this sort of squished in head. Anyway, so you're sitting there reflecting on all these things. You can hear the sound out in the hallway, and you sort of obviously right there by the door. You don't know what happens after that as you're kind of focused on your drink. John Ivy, what are you doing?
Well, yeah, I'm still on the mend for sure from getting shot by Lefty Houser, I think a couple times there. But I think I'm just thinking back on how the hell he found me and showed up at this train station. And then also partially, why were we getting on this train? It's all a bit of a fever dream, as somebody points out in the chat.
Yes, just a little bit of a fever dream. I think the fever dream for these Mados, though, is the fact that we're actually here.
Yes.
Nice. So you're there. You're kind of in pain. You're remembering, of course, that the only way to get to that sort of point in the map that you need to get to next is to go on this train. And I'll remind you all that outside the windows, there was no stars. There was no moon. It's just this blackness, the occasional bit of smoke. But as you're moving along, you start to notice that the colors return. But it's not the normal sort of earthly kind of deep, almost blackish blue. It's this weird purple cast, the purple of ghost rock. Dobbs, what are you doing? You were beat up pretty bad.
Probably looking for some kind of like whiskey or something.
So you notice old Ash has got a bottle of tequila that she snagged from the bar.
I've just been drinking it with no cup, and I just see you look over at it, and I take another swig and then just hand it.
All right, I'll take it. I'll drink that down.
Yeah, you take a big sip of it.
No.
And it, no what? What's the matter?
Oh, I wanted to reboot my computer.
Don't do that. Shit show. Okay. Nate, how are you feeling?
Nate is a bit worse for the wear, not physically. He got patched up pretty good, and he's got his clothes tried to get as tidy as possible. But he's shaken. He's shaken from the whole experience, and he talks a tough game, but seeing the undead, being on this train, it is all incredibly surreal to him. And so he's very silently sort of staring out the window, arm sort of clutching his ribs, and his other hand, white knuckled, holding onto his cane in his lap.
Nice. So I picture his hands kind of shaking there, and you glance out, and you're seeing this sort of shift to purple. Give me a notice check for those who are not Dobbs and Ash. I'm assuming they're interacting as they share the whiskey, so they're not listening per se.
Loaded the wild die.
Nate with a 17. Yeah, so you're hyper aware, and as you're staring out the window, you start to hear these sort of multiple sounds. You almost hear the little boy like, "Mommy, it tastes so good," and you hear this kind of noise. "There's more where that came from," says the conductor, who you will remember has no lips, and that's my not having lips voice. Nate, what do you do with that?
Nate shudders and he turns to John. "We can't get off this train soon enough."
Are we kind of near the front of the train car that we're in?
I'm going to say you're in the middle, and you're
Okay.
one car away from sort of the dining, well, like the bar car, and then on the other
Right.
side of that, there's like the dining cart with like tables and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say the whole train probably knows we're in here at this point. I'm hoping that bowl that they left with might tie them over, but do we have any idea how long we're gonna be on here? Maybe we should have asked Ichabod that. Ichabod.
You're probably right. I think that is right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't recall hearing.
Well, we're in a sorry state, but perhaps we can post up. We should probably have some sort of plan here in case things go south, if they have more of a hankering for the blood we got.
Just
I've already
as he
lost
says
enough.
that. So John's sitting at the window, right? I'm going to assume he's kind of sprawled out, as he was getting patched up, and he's just kind of leaning there. So the window's behind him. You guys are looking at him, and of course Nate's saying something. You're not sure what he heard or whatever. Obviously, that was just Nate's notice. But suddenly on the outside of this window, there's this like a wet thump. And there's like a lamprey mouth, just like, and it's like sucking on the glass and trying to dig its way through. There are these bizarre sort of suction cupped fingers that are attached to the side of this thing, and faint leathery wings as something is trying to suck its way through the glass. Please, everyone, give me spirit checks.
Give me 1 second on mine. I'm trying to free up system things here. So I had to close roll 20.
So those of you who failed, so it looks like most successes, I think. So Ash, you got a 7, and there's a 4 from John. Nate, you're losing it. You're losing it pretty bad.
That breaks him. Yeah, he's already on edge, and this thing hits the window, and he jumps back in his chair, and his arms cling to the side of the seat. He's still holding his cane tightly in his hand, but he's like, you can see the light in his eyes. They're just right, and he's terrified.
Absolutely. So you're going to give me a D20 roll. So for the moment, this won't impact you as much in the moment, but you're completely vulnerable. You're unable to act. You're terrified as this thing is still there, just like, and it's sort of squeaking, and its teeth are kind of clicking against the glass. It's just really horrible. From outside the door, suddenly you start to hear like something's rattling at this door. You guys are in this small compartment that's only big enough for just this small group. All of you obviously hear this. Byron, how are you doing with system resources? I see Dobbs, you fail as well. So you are gripped by fear also.
Okay. I think I'm kind of just out of it. I've had enough. I've almost died several times. I'm on a ghost train. I've already seen terrible things. This doctor that patched me up for one of them. Is there like a screen I can pull down on the window?
There is. There absolutely is. It's like so you reach up and as you reach toward it, you notice the thing lunges even harder. It just presses itself against the glass, and it's like this weird little tongue like slapping and slapping, and there's like some weird saliva drooling down as you pull that thing down and turn, and the door is shaking.
You can't just bleed here. You're gonna have to give us the rest.
You hear from the other side of the door.
Absolutely not. I'm gonna just make sure that both of my revolvers are out and loaded.
Okay, loaded with what?
Yep.
Just out of curiosity.
Just regular old bullets. I don't think I have many resources left. I did also lose my notebook that had all of my tracked resources, so we're working on it, and we'll get it back eventually.
And it's okay because it's been a year, so I will allow you to roll a 1d12. And somebody who watches this shit like in rapid succession, you're probably mad at me, but I do what I want. Roll a 1d12, and that's how many Ghost Rock bullets you have left. Don't roll a 1. That'd be bad. All right, so you got 10. You probably never had 10, but somehow you have 10. You're like, oh, look at these bullets. Anyway, so you load up. What about the rest of you?
I do actually have it noted down on Ash's character sheet digitally, so we are okay.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Nice. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. It's just like a deep sigh, and here we go again. Checking the revolver, making them all 12 chambers are filled, and kind of like loosening up my hands and playing with a deck of cards.
Okay.
Just waiting for the moment.
Nate. I'm sorry, Dobbs. Back to Dobbs. So what are you doing?
This thing's still on the window.
So John John Ivy has just pulled down the shade. As far as you know, it's still there.
Just ignoring it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll probably drink some more tequila.
Okay. By the way, your fear situation is causing you waves of nausea. So basically, you're seeing something that man was not meant to know, and so you're going to be shaken, and you're going to feel a little bit fatigued. But I think that passes.
Can I use a Benny to get rid of that?
You can use a Benny to remove the shaken. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll do that. And then put me down to 1.
Okay. Gotcha. So you should have restarted with all new bennies. Every session you refresh your bennies.
I only get 2.
Oh.
Yeah, he starts with 1 down, and I start with 1 up.
Okay. Never mind. Thanks for the reminder.
I'll gladly take the extra if you want to give it to me.
No.
I can bestow an extra Benny on somebody in the right situation. So yeah, we'll see. You won't go without if I can avoid it.
Okay,
so for every month we didn't play.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna start with bennies.
So what are we doing? So you're in this small chamber. They're like sort of church pew style wooden benches, one on one wall, one on the other. They're covered in dried blood at this point. There's a thing on the window. There's something going on in the hallway, and you're stuck. There's nowhere to go. What do you do?
With John pulling down the shade, Nate sort of gives him a look. Says, "Thank you. I'll pull myself together." And he sits up a little bit straighter, and he starts pointing the butt of his cane at the door, trying his best to ignore the clicking of the teeth and the sucking sounds coming from the window.
Give me a quick notice check, Nate.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Still hyper aware, like the adrenaline is just pumping like crazy. You hear the sound of what sounds like wet, sort of like flat, sticky feet slapping along the top of the train. There's a few sources of movement. The clicking is still at the window. It's not the only thing. There's more of them.
You called them in when you bled on the train. You're gonna have to fight your way out, or you're gonna have to just bleed your last drop.
You hear from
Nate.
muffled from the other side of the door.
Right. As Nate hears the footsteps up top, he swings his cane up, and he calls out, "There's more on the roof.
Okay.
John, we got to find a way out of here."
So the thumping on like the door, I kind of knock back. Excuse me, sir. The creatures want us, or you want us? You want our blood, or are you just trying to get our blood out of here?
Make
You
him
call
second for his
upon
straw.
What's it?
you call upon that what feeds on what's left of life. Each one of these passengers has got a little left, just enough to get through the train ride. And now, you called them here. They're gonna get us all. So it's either you or them.
He says.
I say it's you. Do you think?
Wait, is this the conductor talking to us?
Yeah, through the door. Yeah. I need to get one of those dental things that they have in the one game. I can
No.
pop it in. When it's,
No, don't do that. I'm okay with. I guess.
We have enough nightmares from this.
thanks.
I'm not good at this with this character. Might I suggest, still through the door, I'm not opening this door yet, that it might be too late for the us or you mentality. Perhaps we should all band together to fend these off, seeing as we all have a more likely shot of making it out of here.
I don't
Alive-ish.
need. There is no escape for me. There's none. And the rest of these lot, I lay just as soon eat you as see you be eaten by them. Why don't you just come on out? Take the easy way.
No. I'm gonna.
I think we lost your audio, Len.
Oh no! Wait. Yeah, your audio went bye-bye.
We heard the first part of your
Oh,
sentence, and then you just
no.
cut out.
The curse.
It's the Zoom updates.
It's literally going one by one.
That's what happens.
John.
I'm next to this point.
She's back. She's back. She's back. She's
Am I
back.
back?
Okay,
Yeah, you're
yes,
back.
we can hear you.
Okay,
There
so
you
you
go.
were saying no, and then I laughed and I broke your audio. So what? Sorry.
I just said no. Let us not do that option. I can confidently say I do not like that option.
Dobbs.
I'm gonna load ghost drop bullets.
Okay.
into the guns now.
You pop them out, and you know, as you pull them out, they've got that weird kind of glow to them. There's like just that little weird vapor coming off as you pop them in the chamber and close it and spin it. What else do? You put one through the door or no?
I'm gonna ready at least the cult peacemaker that I have loaded with that. I'm gonna kind of ready it pointed towards the door, but I'm gonna wait until John or Nate gives me the go ahead to start blasting.
Okay, right on.
So, sir, we'll take your recommendation under advisement here. But might I ask, how long do we have till we reach our destination?
Just
How
as
long
you
till we're
say,
clear of these?
as you say, how long do we have? The glass breaks behind you. And there's like, you know, little, of course, the shade sort of, you look over your shoulder, it's jostling. Obviously, all of you turn to that. But yeah, you say, how long do you, and you hear,
Not long.
and what do the rest of you do? Let's go to Dobbs. Dobbs been quiet for a minute.
So at that point, I probably decide that it's time to get up off the chair and stop bleeding. And so I stand up and just, shing, out comes Jennifer.
Okay.
And I'm just like, if it's right there at the window, I'm going to try to hack at it.
Okay. So you can't see it, but you definitely know right where it is, right? Because it's broken the glass. There's little bits of glass that have fallen from behind the shade, and the shade's flopping around as it tries to force its way through. They're like, let's say, wooden shutters. Okay, so you're gonna ping, and you're
Can
close
I
enough that you
stab
can
it through
attack.
the shade?
You
Can I
sure-
stab
you-
it through the
You
shade?
could absolutely do that. Why not?
All right, yeah, that's
give me
what
a
I'm going to
fighting
do
check.
then. I can't see what this does. You're just going to have to tell me.
Well, that's double
There we
ones.
go.
I'm kidding. It's not double ones. What is it?
That's 10.
That was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the way I need to do it from now on. I don't know.
Yes. So you stab through. Sadly, we're going against a parry, right? So you kind of, and you hear the glass break more as you go straight through the shade, and you think you hit something kind of rubbery, and then suddenly you feel something pulling. Give me a strength check, please.
Strength check?
Yes. This is opposed. Nice. So you were now pulling back and forth. Something has a hold of Jennifer, right? And you're pulling and it's pulling and you're pulling and it's pulling. Finally, you pull it back. You hear a shing, and there's this sort of black, like sort of thick liquid on the edge of Jennifer. Give me a D4 just for 10 gentle damage, please. See
I'll try here.
If you
See what I can
explode.
do.
No, not much. Okay. So it's a superficial wound. This thing comes at this point is going to be coming through. You've got a little move, although there's not far you can move. What would you like to do with the rest of your turn, Byron?
I'm going to try to block the window as much as I can.
How?
So if anything comes with myself,
Okay. So just being
I'm just going to try to
meat
just
shield.
be a barrier. Nothing's getting past me.
Okay, gotcha. John Ivy. So wait, you're over by the door. So let's think about this. I'm going to say it's probably Nate's got his gun up. Ash, you're there. You sort of see what's going on. What do you do? Why did my music go away? It's making me sad.
Because you were next on the list.
There it goes.
Is my audio still gone? Is it?
No, you're there. You're there.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Now I'm like hyper aware of it. If I don't
Yeah.
see the like yellow around my Zoom thing, I'm gonna freak out. So I'm just gonna unload like a full clip into the window, just shooting around Dobbs. Because
Okay.
I'm assuming we're in very close quarters, so I'm just kind of like
Yes.
around.
Hopefully around Dobbs, not through Dobbs.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
come
yeah.
on! I shot apples off your head before, right?
That's true. Yep. I think. Is that why I got to part my hair?
Definitely.
That's amazing. All right. So, how many shots are you going to fire? You're going to fire 6? That's a lot of shots. You're going to get
well,
into
I'm
some heavy
definitely gonna
penalties.
at least 2 shots. And I'm imagining because she has 2 pistols, I'm imagining she's kind of doing a 1-2. So we'll start with 2 and see how that goes.
Okay, let's do that. So that'll just be, let's say that'll just be -1 since you're fighting with 2. But that's -1 to both shots. But other than that, off you go.
All right.
I like having roll 20 on a different computer. Okay.
Oh God, terrible.
You gonna spend a Benny? Or no?
Yeah, just because now I'm afraid of hitting Dobbs. We've kind of said it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yell out, "There's a shotgun in my shoulder bag."
So you're shooting. Okay, I misunderstood you, Lynn. So you're okay. Yes. So you're shooting through the window. Got it. Yeah. If you miss, there's going to be a 50% likelihood that you may hit Dobbs because he's trying to stand in front of the window. So
Yeah, I will.
Yep.
I will burn a Benny for you.
burn it.
Oop. I think that worked. Did that actually
Yeah,
drop
it did.
onto
Let's,
the?
yeah, let's have that roll again.
All right, come on. There.
Woo! There you go.
Yes.
So you're kind of. How does that look as she's trying to find her aim? Like, what's that? What does she look like if the camera's facing her and she's trying to find that shot?
I think she still has like a up and all of this like crazy like I'm assuming there's like wind buffeting and like glass and wood being sprayed. She's like completely calm. She's so over everything at this point after what she's been through that she's just kind of like, now hold still, now Dobbs, help, move your arm, and then she just takes the shot.
She chewing on that cigarillo or whatever. She kapow! So she shoots. Give me that damage roll.
Not great.
You could spend a Benny to re-roll if you wanted. I mean,
No,
just,
I need those.
yeah, I need those. They're mine. All right, so you shoot. You do hear a kind of like sound, and then there's a sudden rush of wind as the creature that was obstructing the hole in the glass apparently falls or moves or something. It's like, and now all of a sudden the shutters are flapping open. It's gone for now. But here's the scary part. As you look out into the distance, again, this thing's moving so fast. It's as if it's not even moving with these creatures, and there are a bunch of them out there. like maybe a dozen flying around. You have attracted some attention.
Oh, they can fly though?
Seems so.
Great.
Yes.
Can I take a pot shot at whichever one is closest? Like that looks like it's gonna come here
why
towards
not?
us.
Why not? You can fire off in the distance. Although you're a super talented marksman, so I'm gonna you know, like at this point you're not gonna hit it. You'd probably save the bullet.
All right. Even with my steady hands feet, makes me
If I'll tell you
better
what,
at shooting things.
if you roll and you get a raise, I'll let you hit. But you got to get a raise, and you cannot spend a penny to get there
Oh,
because
I'm
it's
gonna
a
give it
hard shot. All right, do it. Shit! Why do I do this to myself? Roll for damage, then. Why don't you?
You asked for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
The one thing she does is she shoots things.
Yeah. Nice.
I drink and I shoot things. That's
Yeah.
Exactly. I drink and I shoot things.
So you this one that's kind of coming in as if it's going to land, and you pop a cap in it, and you see what's crazy with these ghost rock bullets is it's almost like a tracer of this sort of purple vapor behind it. Just, so you see it hit this thing, and with like almost like a poof of vapor, and it spins out of control off to the side. So you don't know what happened to it. But we're going to move on to Nate. Nate, what are you doing? Noise on the roof?
Yeah. So this thing bursts through the window, and Nate immediately starts scrambling, trying to find where the little girl is that's screaming until he realizes it's actually himself. He is squealing.
Don't make me laugh. My back is so fucked up.
Yeah. Once he sort of gets himself calm, and he like, there's something therapeutic about watching Ash and Dobbs just do their thing, and Dobbs is holding the line, and she's just whizzing these tracing bullets by his head, and just that surgical precision, knocking these things out of the air, that gives him some more confidence. And so he sort of steels himself, and he doesn't take any shots, but he's definitely like holding this cane shotgun style, like at the ceiling.
Okay.
With these guys got the window, I've got the ceiling, and John's sort of facing the door there.
Okay, so you got a held action. So at any point before we roll back around to Dobbs, you can say, hey, I want to do something now based on what plays out. Mr. Ivy, what's going on? So you see all this chaos.
Yeah. My gun's pretty much trained at the door right now as I'm kind of leaning against to make sure nobody's coming through. It just kind of turned to the group, and good job holding that one off. Do you think we can hold out in here, or should we try to make a run towards the front of the train? Can't think of what it's called.
Engine.
The engine. There you go. The engine. I'm trying to get out of here quicker. What do you guys think?
I'm assuming, could we hear that conversation with the conductor and John?
I think it's been so chaotic. You got the gist of it, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say if they want to eat us out there, I don't think that's any better.
They don't have wings, though. That's my main concern. That one dude has a bag over his head.
Couldn't they
He can't do much.
Can't they just attack another car of the train? It don't look like they're they're flying very slow.
Is the train moving fast?
It's really hard to say.
It's a weird perspective.
It is. It's yes. Now that because before it was just black outside, you were convinced that it was moving crazy fast. Now it's got this really purple kind of haze, and the stars, if you had time to look, aren't right. They're not the ones that should be there. But you don't know.
Okay.
Certainly looks like it. Like if the last session is to be believed, really fast. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, bullet train kind of thing.
Bullet train. Well, you good to hole up in here then?
Ain't nothing coming through this window unless I'm dead.
Poor choice of word stops.
Yeah.
Nate, do you have occult by any chance? Do you have any occult knowledge skills?
Doesn't look like it. No.
Pity. Okay, moving on. We're coming back around. Okay, so bad guys now. So you're leaning against the door. I'm assuming you said the gun was trained on it, so you're kind of leaning into it, maybe with one hand on it, right? And you suddenly there's just like shove, and the door burps open a little bit and pushes you back.
Okay.
I'm gonna need I think a spirit roll, or otherwise you're gonna fire a bullet just instinctively. If you succeed, you hold it together. Okay. Yeah, so you almost.
You've got to get off the train,
He says with his dental thing.
Okay. Can I fan the hammer through the crack that he's made in the door?
Come again, fan the hammer. What?
You unload your revolver.
Oh, like that. Like pow, 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 pow.
That kind of fan a hammer.
It wouldn't be through the if you step back and let him open the door. Absolutely, you're resisting.
Okay.
You're resisting his push. So right.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Nice. Do it.
Okay. So I quickly looked this up. So I make 6 attacks,
Yep.
all at -4
Yep.
penalty. I still get 1 wild dice. So I think I'm gonna just roll 6, and the first wild dice of the 6 will be the wild dice, and that can replace any of the ones that potentially miss.
Yep. Okay.
So I
Yep.
will go ahead and do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Whoa. 2 of those are going to get bonus damage,
Okay.
right? Because you had a raise.
Okay, so how many do I actually hit there? 1, 2, 3, 4?
4. Oh,
Five.
I didn't scroll up. Yeah, 5.
Except for the third one, right? Because the third one was 2 and 2.
Well, the second, or that was the second one. The first thing's a spirit.
Oh, you're right. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
1, 2, 3.
And
4,
anything with a
5.
raise is going to get bonus damage. So
Okay,
yeah.
so we'll do 5, 2,
Oof.
3, 4.
You said Ghost Rock. Whoa. Okay. So, camera is on the other side of the conductor, right behind him. He's wearing his conductor hat, and his conductor outfit's all tattered and gnarly. What does the camera see, John Ivy, as you do this?
I think it's just a very quick mist behind, as basically the torso of this conductor disappears kind of into
Yeah, and it's dry and husky, right? So there's like splinters of wood flying, and you hit him, and then that last shot is just kind of right between the eyes, and it just blows the back of his head out, and he's there like, and falls down. The door obviously swings loose now that he's not pushing on it. Okay.
pull it closed if I
Okay.
still have a
Yeah.
match.
Yep. That's your move. So you reach up, you grab the door and shut it.
Yep.
It's gonna be hilarious if you guys stay in this fucking room for like 3 hours and play. Okay, Dobbs, we're coming back around, but I'm gonna check in with Nate first. You had a held action. What are you doing? This all unfolds, and you're there.
I was actually going to support him if he needed it, but no. So like, as I see John and like I know that he's ready to do what he's about to do, I say, "Oh, I sure hope you know what you're doing," and he does. He just cracks it open, do, and then close the door. I got nothing. You got a high five, maybe? You want a high five, John?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Okay, well done.
I will give you a quick notice check.
Yeah.
So thankfully, you're super perceptive as always. In betwixt the pow, pow, pow of this peacemaker, firing right there in this tiny little room with nothing to silence it at all, is a something is tearing the fucking ceiling out of this train car. As you hear like, it's not through this layer, but whatever's on the very top, the sort of roof, is getting removed. You can hear it ripped loose. And then just now the gunfire stops, so you're kind of looking up. How do you react to that?
I share that immediately with the group.
Okay.
Something very big's up on that roof, and it sounds like it's fixing to get through here. I think we ought to move.
Agreed.
Come back to Dobbs. Dobbs, what are you doing?
We got any dynamite? Maybe we can jump on the other car and pull the pin and blow them up.
Hold on now. Let me check my bag.
Yeah, she might. Actually.
So you're rifling through. Hang on. And you're like, no, that's my other tequila, and that's this bottle of that, and this is about whatever. So that'll be your action, Len, if you want to try to search for dynamite in the bottom of your bag. Do you have some dynamite or what? Probably.
I don't have dynamite, but is it my turn to go?
Dobbs, are you going to do anything, or are you just calling it out?
Well, I'm probably looking for like a table or something. Is there anything to put in front of this window?
No. So there's a little bit of a folding, like a wooden little kind of armrest almost thing, like a writing table at the by the wall.
They ain't doing nothing.
No, it's not doing anything. No, there's no way to block the window right now unless you disassemble the bench.
I mean, I'm just gonna stand in front of it for right now.
Okay. Give me a notice check while you're at it.
Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen. Let's see here. Let's see if I can actually scroll to a notice.
Nice. So I'm going to take the first one.
Did it roll twice?
Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. That was Nate. I was just can't read because that's too far away. Okay. So, yeah, you look out and you see there's a couple of these things. You don't know what that means because there's not so many out flying around. But you notice, like, right there, just out of sort of in the top corner where there's still jagged glass, you see the edge of a leathery wing. And it's moving, it's kind of creeping in. Like you notice before it notices you notice, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Shit. I'm kind of standing there with like almost like I'm getting frisked from behind. I got my hands up, just like blocking whatever is going to be there or whatever.
You see this sort of spittle dripping. You can tell as a result of that where its head is.
So it's gonna sound dumb as shit, but so it's there, right? And it's kind of hanging, just kind of barely going over the thing, and so I think Dobbs is just gonna try to like reach up and grab a fucking hold of it and just like yank it down so that it like goes goes by. You know what I mean? So like just try to pull it off the train, like and throw it. Like
okay, so couple
I'm
things.
just gonna reach out the window and grab a hold of it.
You're gonna reach out the window, which has got broken glass. So if you fail your roll, and you can't back it up with a Benny and succeed, you're going to take a damage from the glass. But you can absolutely reach out and grab it. So give me a fighting check.
Where is fighting? Here we go.
Okay, so its parry is higher than that. So you don't fail, right? So in other words, you don't mess up and cut yourself. You reach out past the glass, and your hand smacks, and you sort of feel its claw, and it's like this weird, like disgusting, like leathery, like slappy feel, and it jerks its hand out from under yours, and you have your hand on the side of the train.
Well, I'll pull my hand back in. I'm not leaving my hand on the side of the train. Yeah. I'm like trying to grab a hold of it and yank down, and my hand's coming right back in.
Okay, you reach up, you're like, ah! And give me a quick athletics check just to make sure that you pull it back through without cutting yourself. Oh, nice. So with a great quickness, you're like, ah! And as you pull your hand back, you've got like this weird, kind of like black, like cindery stuff. It's almost like a liquid. You're not sure what to make of it until you realize that there are like thousands of little things moving on your hand. It's spreading.
Don't touch him!
He's staring at his hand. That's an episode title. Don't touch him! All right.
So I think I instinctively spit tobacco on my hand and hope that they don't like that shit.
Okay. You do.
And I just like, I don't know. I can't do that many things.
Yeah, so I think you don't touch him, and start spitting. You spit a few times, and we'll get back to you next turn. So who was next? I think it was Len. I think it was Ash.
Ah, shit. I think I'm pulling out of dynamite, but I think it's time we can give this a try. And I pull out my flamethrower. Which I've had the whole time.
Yeah. So it's the little thing, right? Okay. So
I mean, I don't know, Jason. How big is it?
it is totally like a steampunk, self-contained, almost like a Warhammer flamer. So you pull it out of your bag, which is probably a bag of holding at this point, but yeah, you just kind of like hang on. It's all tangled on some shit, and you pull this thing out, and you have it. What do you do with it?
First of all, I think she has to check it to see if she really knows how to work it, because I don't think she's used it this entire time.
Okay. Oh, never. Okay. So why don't we? You could use repair if you have it.
I don't.
Or we could just take smarts, but smarts at, let's say, -2.
It's really not going to be good, but let's go.
You're pretty sure, and this is where metagaming is a thing. You're pretty sure you get it. You're pretty sure.
What could go wrong?
It's shaped moderately like a gun.
It's
Usually
100% like a gun.
Point one end at it, and something comes out.
So the one thing you figure out, Len, is you get it lit. There's like this pilot light, and you're just like, you kind of click this button, and there's a spark, almost like a modern day Zippo, and it's like, and you're like, oh, but it's a purple flame.
All right, boys, I think it's time we get the hell out of this cabin, and I'm gonna, with my little flamethrower, I'm going to step towards the door and reach out to it and kind of give everybody a shall we look.
John Ivy, what do you do?
I back out of the way of the flamethrower.
Okay, so you can get behind her. Nate, I'm assuming, as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Len. Why don't you give me a shooting roll?
Yeah. Just for reference, I've kind of put my one revolver away, switched to the one that's still loaded, and yeah, gonna kind of flank behind Ash, of kind of covering over her shoulder in case anything comes around.
Nice. So you're there. There is stuff going on with Dobbs, obviously. He's like, he's spitting on his hand. You don't know what's going on. He's kind of bent over. But the roar of this thing just completely takes your attention. Now, the thing that you missed with your failed smarts check, young Ash, is the nozzle on the front where you can kind of taper where the flame goes. It's literally just like out to both sides. It bathes the entire wall in this weird ghost rock fire jelly shit. So now it is, the wall is now on fire. You blow the door out, though. It is on fire. It's laying on top of the corpse of the conductor and burning. So what do you do? You one full charge. What now, Ash?
Right, so that's how that works.
We're learning.
And I think she kind of stands there in the doorway and she's looking down at this gun, looking into the hallway that's now ablaze. And she kind of peeks her head out, looks down one way, and then the next way.
So okay, give me a notice check as you look. Well, this is good. Let's do Sanity Unravels. I like Sanity Unravels. That's a good music selection. All right, so you to the right and left, more so to the left, near where the bar cart and dining cart are, which would be toward the back of the train. There, on the other side of the fire, and shrinking back from it, there are numerous dead people. The doctor is hissing and choking there on the other side of the flames, but they are close and they are amassing as if they are hungry or something.
Can I just? I'll look at them, and
Okay.
I'll poke the nozzle of the flamethrower around.
Okay.
Go, y'all stay back.
Okay, you scream, "Stay back!"
Get.
And get you varmints. Okay, who's next? I think it was John. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, seeing
John?
that, I'm going to immediately just throw a card down at the mass of them? No real.
Ash is
If I
in
had
your
the
way.
doctor, that'd be great.
Ash is in your way.
Okay.
So you can move past her. If you get into the proverbial square, you do run the risk of getting burnt by ghost rock fire.
Yeah, never mind. I'm gonna go. So they're towards the back of the train. I'm gonna head the opposite with Ash kind of like fending them off the
Okay.
court, as it were. And I'm gonna head up the train. I
Nice.
guess,
So
towards the engine.
she's like get, and she's pointing that way. You go to turn and head to the right, where there are the little boy, who you will recall was missing his teddy bear, and the 90-degree broken neck guy.
Yeah.
Are both up that way. And what's crazy is they look different. They look hungry. Their eyes are different than you remember.
I'm gonna throw a card to the kid.
Okay. You're just such a dick. That's a dick move. Okay, fine. Let's have that shooting roll, please.
Kids don't move as fast. I get it.
Hey,
That got
they're the ones you
easier to
need
hit.
to look out for.
especially when they're
Right.
already, what was it, smallpox, Byron, that you gave this poor kid?
I don't remember.
I think it was smallpox. Yeah.
Probably.
All right. So you just like, he's there and he's just like, and you go and clobber him. Give me a damage roll, please. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Sean,
Oh, geez.
God.
Oh, geez. Let's wait till Len gets back. Wait, Len's coming back. Len's coming back.
Oh,
So, Len, what you missed was, so John pushes past you. You're aiming this way where the masses are. Y'all get back, you varmints. He scoots past you. He pauses for a second. You kind of glance over your shoulder, and he flings a card at the little zombie kid who was asking his mom about his teddy bear. And just what happens, John? What does Ash witness?
I just imagine it's kind of a flash of green and almost like vaporizing, except then the little bear is just resting on a little pile of ash.
He didn't have the bear, but I'll take that.
Okay.
And so you ring and you hit him, and he just kind of like the magic courses through him and reduces him to ash, and like the ashes fall into the shape of a teddy bear. How about that? Then there's the shriek of his mother, who's right around the corner, and of course the guy with the broken neck that's all like, "Hi." I can't do it right now; my back hurts. But you have those two. You have a move left. What do you do?
I'm gonna just kind of like, I guess, kind of move off to the side of the small hallway and kind of duck so that
You could duck into another compartment, but that hasn't worked out super well for you in the past.
Yeah, that hasn't. I'm gonna just like kneel down. That way, if Dobbs or Nate come behind me with another gun, they have at least clear
Okay.
line of sight.
Got it. So you kind of fling, and actually, let's assume you do that partially because you were trying to aim at the kid and he was short. You child. What's the matter with you?
Yes. Hey, they're the ones you need to look
It's
out
okay.
for.
Nate.
They're the least assuming.
Yeah. We're back to Nate. Nate, what do you do?
Yep. So Nate hasn't stepped out of the room yet. He hears flames on this side and whatever the hell that was on this side. He's sort of still, he's got his eyes trained up on the roof, and then he looks down at Dobbs, and Dobbs is like spitting on his hand and trying to shake it and everything. I'd like to see if there's a way I can assist, or at least like see what's going on. Dobbs, you all right? Let me see.
There's thousands of them all over.
Give me a healing check.
Yeah. If I trying to remember, if I don't have it listed, I can still roll for it. It just means I don't have the skill.
Yeah, well, it'd be smarts. You do smarts, and it would be -2.
I can do that.
And he actually attempting to heal someone. Oh shit! No.
Can I roll, Manny?
Okay. No, you can't. Turns out
No,
when
I
you
can't,
roll,
not on a
yeah,
double
when you
one.
roll snake
Oh.
eyes, yeah. So critical failure. So
Cut
you
his
grab
hand
his
off.
hand, and Dobbs is just like he's shaking, and he shakes some of this shit all over your hand, and it gets on your hand, and you're like and you see it, Nate, clear as day. It's like these, have you ever seen like weevils in cereal, like those little tiny
Yeah.
bugs? Think about say about a fifth of that size, but thousands of them just spreading out on your hand.
Let me see. God damn it, Dobbs. What is this? He starts freaking out. He's sort of like lost focus of the thing that's up on the roof and the guys that are out of the room. Now I'm in this panic mode here with Dobbs.
Okay. You are. So you're both panicked. So that brings us back to Dobbs. So Dobbs, what are you doing? This transpires.
There's that bottle of tequila right there,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna pour some on my hand.
Okay.
And man, I don't know if I got a match. Let's see. I do, because you know what? I have that stupid thing
Give
where
me
I
a
can
give me a
have
quick
one
smarts check at
usable
like.
thing.
Give me a smarts check at like plus 25.
Yeah, you realize you just asked for a smarts check from
I know.
Dobbs.
I know.
Yeah, like that's not-
Everybody's answer can't be fire.
Yeah,
Like
that's
this
pretty
is a
much-
Well,
wooden
so
train.
there's a big fire right there. You're,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, I don't have a match. And you don't have time, and you're just like, oh, there's fire there.
Oh yeah, I'll just go put my hand in it.
Okay, so you move over, and you use your move, and you actually throw your hand in this ghost rock fire. And what's your toughness?
Higher than my smarts.
Nice.
I don't know if I can see it on my phone. Here, let me try. I can't make it bigger.
It's got to be higher than 5, right?
Yeah, hold on, I got it. Toughness, where you at? 7.
Okay, so you go kind of sliding in next to Ash. She's aiming out the door. Remember, this is a very small room. You slide in and kind of like between, but she's standing there in a fighting stance. You reach kind of down between her knees and just like put your hand in this fire. And you hear the shrill scream of these things. Like it's like, yeah, like this little, like a whistle almost as you cook these things with ghost rock fire. It does burn the shit out of your hand, but it's superficial. And it's your left hand. So you're going to be all right for the most part. That I think concludes your action unless you have other ideas, Byron.
Well, at this point, I am away from the window,
Mm-hmm.
so my move was to get over here, so I probably can't make any more moves, right?
Correct. Well,
Yeah.
I would say if you wanted to move somewhere, you probably could. You got a little bit left. What do you?
All right.
What it's
I'll
on
be
your
like,
mind?
Nate, looks like it's time to go, and I'll dive through the door onto the other train.
All right, give me an athletics check. If you happen to critical fail, you're gonna fall on the fire in the door.
Oh, that's good. I like it. Let's do that. Let's see here. You said athletics.
Which way are you going? Right or left? Because you
trying.
can't see what's going on, right? So you don't
No,
know.
we'll go left.
All right, go
I
left.
literally can't see what's
So
going
you
on.
go left, the general direction. So like Dobbs, basically just like football moves past you, Ash, kind of like causing you to be a little bit off footing, and just charges through the fire into Dobbs. You step on the other side of this pile of stuff, and there's a whole bunch of dead people in the hallway, and they're just kind of like, and the one got and all this noise, and they are now very happy that you're on the other side of the fire. The fire seemed to be keeping them at bay.
Awesome. Is my hand still on fire? My jacket?
It is not still on fire. Your athletics check was to dodge through the fire quickly, like a campfire,
Okay.
like a drunken teenager. Not that I know anything about that. I failed my check though. I fell in. It was bad. Anyway, yeah. So that's your move. So you're there. We'll
Yep,
pick up
got
with you. Next up is Ash. So he kind of knocks you off footing, and now he's in the way. Especially if you want to use this big old flamethrower again. What do you do?
So he went towards the back of the train, right?
Correct.
Like towards the people.
Toward the bar and the dining cart, and yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna try and just go. Hell, Dobbs, come on, wrong way! And I'm gonna jump out again. I'm gonna try and but I'm gonna cut the other way. I'm gonna go to the right towards the front of the train.
Yep.
And I'm just kind of being like, turn your big ass around. Let's get going. And I'm just gonna, I'll try and not burn myself, and then I'm just gonna kind of wait.
Yep.
Until the rest of them move past me, and I'll try and take up the rear with the
Gotcha.
flamethrower.
Athletics check just on your move to get you through the fire. Not an action, just to get you through the
Love
fire.
and athletics. Love athletics.
Okay.
D4, yeah, no.
Wild die saves you, so you kind of you sort of stagger through it a little bit, but you see John there, and as you turn around, there's the matronly figure. She's dressed in this, kind of period gown or whatever. But remember, she died of smallpox because Byron has no soul, and so and now John.
And neither does she.
That's true. So John has just killed the dead child and is now crouched down. You turn and she's just looking at him like, ah, and her jaw is like extended like way too far, coming at him like she's gonna eat his face off. So that's what you see at the end of your move, and you still have an action. What do you do?
Can I just hold it to see if I can wait until they?
Yeah. You come around and you're like, oh, give me a spear check though. Let's see what you think of the crazy, stretchy jaw vibe. Okay. Wild Die saves you. You steal your jaw. You're like,
I love it.
Yeah, you're just barely there. Like you could have lost an action there. Okay. Who's next? It's John, isn't it? Yeah.
Nate, didn't
I went right before Dobbs.
Okay.
Remember, you killed that child, and then the Dobbs thing
He
happened.
killed a child.
All right.
It's a dead child. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue forward, and I'm gonna, I think, keep throwing cards.
All right.
At whatever's in my way. So I guess either the mother or the neck guy, whichever is closer to me, and
what am I looking at? Spellcaster. So you hit. And how do you feel about your damage?
can I spend a bane to reroll?
You sure
damage?
can. Hit that button.
I'm gonna do that.
Yep. No, that's
That's
so much
better.
better. Okay, so you get a raise, which is great because turns out that if you are just extras, you're not a wild card like a main character, you can only take 1 wound. So tell me how it goes down as you fling this card. What happens?
I'm definitely aiming at the guy's neck.
It's the
trying
guy
to,
or
like-
the lady? You get the which
I'm
one?
gonna get the guy with the neck problem, and try to correct it for him. But imagine it just snaps the other way and he's down.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's basically got a broken neck, so the card just like slices through his, and the weight of his head like stretches the rest of the skin off, and he just like falls over. Sadly, he doesn't bleed much because he's dead. So he falls to the ground. Any movement, noting that you're about to be attacked by the crazy ghost lady.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of brace for it. I know what's behind is a mob of them and
Yep.
Dobbs and a bunch of fire, so this seems like the better alternative.
All right. So she rolls a. Oh, wow. Okay. So she exploded. No, she didn't literally explode, but her die exploded. What is your parry?
4.
She actually will reach out and grab you. So it's crazy because she doesn't exactly like sort of scratch at you or whatever. She grabs a hold of you and then just goes, and you feel so cold. You're going to take. Oh, well, that's great. Tell me what your toughness is. Please tell me it's 1. Maybe
It
2.
is 4.
Okay. So you feel this just like this bone numbing cold come over you, and she's staring you in the eyes. But the crazy thing is what happens on the other side of her. As some mass comes smashing into probably the outer wall of the train, blasting wood from that wall out the open door of the compartment ahead of you. Is that making sense? So she's attacking you. Behind her, something just smashed in the side of the train.
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
And if you want to see what it looks like, let me get to that layer. Put a lot of effort into finding the appropriately.
Boy.
Yeah, not great. I'm going to put them on your layer so you can see. It should be on token layer. So you should be able to zoom in on that guy and see it. Or actually, hey, let me do this. Or not.
Definitely not.
Well, why
the
does
stuff in
roll?
nightmares.
Well, yeah, there it goes.
Is it a Shift Z? Is that the command?
No, here it is. Do you see the?
Or Shift?
Apparently, I'm showing you nothing. Never mind. Fuck it. So you see it. It's this. Let's see it for the stream.
I love thanks. I hate it.
You're welcome. So it's this winged lamprey thing that has smashed its way through. Size-wise, this one is about 6 feet tall-ish, but very, very big. A little smaller than Dobbs, but only a slight bit more scary as well. So it has smashed through. Lady has attacked. She's not going to move any. We're back to Nate. Nate, what are you doing?
Yeah, so Nate is having a second where he's like, shit. He's trying to get this thing off, and he hears the commotion still up on the roof, and he's like, I gotta get out of here. And he turns around and realizes Dobbs gone. Shit. So he kind of gives his hand one last shake, and he pops his head out the window, and he looks quickly to the right, and he sees what's going on with John. He looks to the left. He sees fire. That shit. So he pops out to the right. He didn't watch Dobbs stick his hand in the fire, so that didn't even occur to him. He's just sort of like still trying to figure out.
I'll give you a notice. I'll give you a notice check though, Mike, because honestly, with Dobbs moving around and all that, like that would have been. If you say you don't want to have seen it, that's fine. But I give you a notice check, and if you're successful, I think you
you
had
I guess
some
it's
idea.
fine. The way that I think it, or I saw it, was like, I'm trying to take his hand, right? The thing's on my hand now. I'm like, shit, he's doing his old thing.
Okay,
but,
fine. That's fair.
Yeah.
Let's. What I will give you from the notice check is there's a intense smell, especially with the rays that you got. There's an intense smell of burnt hair in the air around. Like as you're like, oh god, what do you do?
So there's John's being held by this woman, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah. She's engaged, zombified. She grabs a hold of him. Then, of course, you're looking around the corner. I'm thinking probably right about as this thing smashes through the wall behind the lady that's got John, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna call out for John and head down that way. And I don't know how much movement in action I have to help, but I'm gonna try to help him get free of this woman and try to get him away from the chaos that's destroying the front of this cabin.
Yeah. Okay. So first is athletics check. Let's get you through the fire. Let's make sure that you can come through without injury.
Can I re-roll that one?
You can spend a penny. You sure can.
I don't have any on me.
Oh.
Because I didn't get any assigned to me at the beginning of the game.
Oh, well, that's fine. That's okay.
Yeah, I should have 4, so now I'm down to 3.
Okay.
Bam. Okay.
Oh, nice. The wild die does a favor for you. Yeah, so you jump through. Now, of course, Ash is right there, and she's kind of come through and is just like kind of pushing forward. You jump in, and literally it's like, John, you can grab him. The trouble is he hasn't moved far. So if you grab him and pull him back, you're both going into the fire. And then she's right on the other side of him. And then this thing is like recovering from having smashed through the wall of the train. So you're there. What do you do? Nate?
I don't think I was picturing this right, and so
think of a rectangle. Sorry, I map and life skills. Think of a rectangular train car, very narrow hallway and compartments along the hallway.
Yep.
If you hang a right, that's where John has gone and Ash has gone. You're behind them, heading right. The woman and her both those zombies were basically on the other side of John. He has now killed the child, apparently, and is now having a bit of a spat with the mom, as you would if you killed the child. And then this thing has crashed through behind all that toward the right. Yeah. To the left is Dobbs versus the cast of Walking Dead, like the bad ones.
Got it. I thought Ash in the fire and stuff were on the left side, and then John was on the right side. I didn't realize.
Yeah, the fire's right outside of your door. Yeah, the fire, like literally, she blew out the door. And by the way, it's spreading, so now it's all up in the ceiling and it's smoky.
Oh,
and
good.
Yeah. Because that's how she do.
Everything according to plan.
You shouldn't feel cold anymore, John. So as I jump through, I'm gonna grab onto John to sort of like steady myself on the other side of the fire. And if I can get an action, I'm going to try to sucker punch this thing. I'm not very strong. I'm certainly not like that guy.
Give me that fighting roll. Yeah. I think you do. I think you get you definitely get an action. So
I I don't even think I've made a fighting roll before.
Take out the zombie child and then punch its mom in the face. Wow, what a nice group. Yes.
She's holding on to him. Yeah.
So you get a raise.
Like, oh my friend.
And so that's bonus damage. And so it's going to be strength. So whatever your strength is for damage. Go ahead and roll that. Oh my God. And then bonus damage should be 1d6 on top of that. So roll 1d6. I'm giving it to you. All right. So, oh God. Okay.
I just come out of the fire with my hand covered in whatever small microbes are on there and just.
Yeah, and seriously, you don't even know your own strength, and your hand goes, she's like, "Rah!" with that distended jaw, and you punch straight through the back of her head.
God.
Just like
Everything Nate has done from what he has seen and what he perceived and what it's all 100% adrenaline.
Yes.
As soon as this train ride is done, I'm going to sleep for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. So, since you're a pacifist and you went against that, I'm gonna combat you by saying the sad thing is you punch through her head. It comes off. Her body slumps to the ground, and now her head is like here's her mouth, and you're just like and it's stuck on your arm.
I'm just collecting things now in his hand, so that's fine.
Let's come back to who am I? Dobbs. I think you're next. Yeah.
All right.
What do you got?
Hey, where's the?
Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
You were holding an action, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna take my held action.
Okay, let's do it. What do you got?
Can I just and again, I want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, like spatially. So like, I went out into the right, and then John also went that way and was kind of tangling with this woman, and now Nate has joined the fray and punched this woman's head off. Can I just like aim, and then there's the monster behind like them, right? I'm just gonna aim the flamethrower at the monster and shoot.
Okay. Yeah. Right on. All right. Okay. So yeah. So yes, what had happened was John came in and threw a card at that child zombie, and then he ducked down.
Yes, you do.
You stepped in kind of behind him, and you're like, "Oh man, this thing's coming through." And then Nate barrels past you, and is like, "Leave my friend alone," kind of thing, and just like. And this has got the head stuck on his arm and is flinging it around trying to get it off. I'm gonna say it's at -2 because you have to. You're like, be still. But give me that roll. Give me a shooting roll. Do you want to do a smarts check to adjust the?
Yes, I will try my best.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, you have no idea.
Only-
So don't crit fail. Was all I'm gonna say. But yeah, go ahead.
Right.
Make that shooting roll.
If I fuck this up, I will spend a Benny. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Okay, no crit fail. But yeah, so you lean over. I'm thinking John, because Nate's like flailing around because he's got a zombie head on him, and you just and bathe that entire hallway in flame. So you hit the bad guy, turns out. And I'm going to need, you don't have too many more shots of this left thing. I'm going to need 2d8 worth of damage, please. Okay. So keep in mind, if you roll an 8, you got to re-roll and add to it. Oh, yep. Yeah, so re-roll one more. So 15 plus. Oh, wow, so 20. Okay, nice. So you blast this thing. It is going to be shaken, but will spend one of its bennies to not deal with that. But it flails back against the cart. It is absolutely on fire, and it will take 1 wound as a result of that because you got a raise, right? And
Great.
Gnarly damage. So what do you? Wait a minute. Yeah, no, that's right. What the hell do you? Okay, so it's flaming. Purple flames everywhere, lighting the whole car. Now that whole hallway you're heading toward the engine is now like you're gonna have to run through some fire to get there.
Fine. I think we can all handle it, right?
Yeah, sure. So guys, you're there, and Nate, you're just like, oh, and then why do I have that shown to the players still? Hang on, let me get rid of that character sheet that isn't even complete there.
Also, out of character, I apologize for my actions, but
No.
in character, I don't.
We've been
That's so
been
good.
a lot worse.
This is so
Remember
good.
the time when we were cowboys? We just had two little pistols. We're like, plow, plow, plow. Now we're on a flaming ghost train with zombies.
I picture the train. So let's say the helicopter camera, right, going next to the train. You got the front of the train with this purple plume of ghost rock or whatever, and then in the middle, it's just like this fucking inferno, growing inferno where you guys are. Zooming back in. So Ash, you have now successfully set that part on fire, which is amazing.
Great.
We now do come back to Dobbs. Dobbs, what do you do?
So the door from the car was kind of on fire, right? It wasn't sitting like in the hallway.
Yeah, and yes, and it was spreading. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean the door itself was.
Yep.
You said it was
It blew
blown
out
off.
and fell down on top of the corpse of the conductor who was standing right outside the door.
Well, I'm gonna pick it up and use it like as a shield to like hold this like massive people of Walking Dead back. And I'll be like, I think it's time to go. If you guys don't realize there's a whole posse of dead people back there.
You're gonna pick up the flaming door?
I'm gonna pick up the flaming door and hold it in front of me like a riot shield.
I love it.
Like,
I like it. Let's have a vigor check. The vigor check is to determine whether or not you can stand more than one round of holding a flaming door in your hands. You're already burnt hand, which getting burnt is worse. Okay, so you do. You're going to take 1d6 of damage per round. And of course, if it exceeds your toughness, so this first round, I'm going to make, let's do John. Let's have John roll your damage. 1d6. Okay, so
Not too bad.
yeah, it's burning you, but again, superficial. So you hold this thing up, and as you do, give yourself an extra Benny, because that was a really great idea. They shrink back. None of these things like Ghost Rock, it occurs to you, especially not weaponized Ghost Rock. And you stand it up in the doorway, I'm sorry, in the hallway, which is it's a little bit, you can kind of almost prop it up there. But you're holding it, you say that, what else?
I'm gonna push forward.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to push them off the back of the train.
Okay. So you push back and say with your movement, right? You've got it,
Yeah.
and they absolutely shrink back. But you get to a point where it's almost like they're not going to turn around and go to the different car. So you actually are pushing, and suddenly you are opposed. And so I'm going to need a strength roll, please. Oh, let's see. As the doctor. No. So you push them back a little bit further. You get to a point where if your spatial awareness prevails, they can't go any further without turning around and going through the door. And you're pushing and they're pushing, and probably you smell burnt flesh as the ghost rock starts to cook the one nearest the door.
We call this the grilled cheese.
Okay, moving on. So Ash, you had a held action, but we come back to you. So you just cooked the folks. What do you do next?
I am going to. She's very hesitant to do so because she has a lot of power in her hands right now, and she wants to keep using it. But she also looks around and sees that everything is now just purple fire, and she's like, "I think I'm done with my job." So she's gonna stick the flamethrower back in her. She probably doesn't even have time to put it in her bag. She just sticks it in her belt or something, just jams it.
Okay.
And she's gonna pull out her Colt revolver again. And I will take, if I have enough action economy, I will take just a shot with one of the ghost rock bullets at the monster.
So I'm going to say, if you're okay dropping the weapon at your feet, because you go to kind of it's too bulky to put in your belt. Really, you'd need to throw it in a bag, or if you had a strap or something. But you can do everything you just described. But the one exception would be you have to drop the weapon.
No, I love that thing. It's coming with me wherever I go.
You could tuck it under an arm and make an attack, but you're making an attack at -2. How about that?
That's fine.
All
Yeah,
right.
she'll just tuck it under her arm and then pull out the gun.
Okay.
What's my cat
It's so
is
funny. Let me just
helping
tuck my
me.
flamethrower under my arm. Hi, Nim.
Wait, is this a shooting roll?
It is. Yep. -2.
Ooh,
Ooh.
it's really bad. I will spend another Benny. Just do it again.
Oh, yeah, that was close. Okay, so yeah, so you shoot, and let me have some damage on that shooting.
Sorry, I just had to click it again.
The same. Okay. Okay. Yes. So tell me about. You didn't get a raise. So what were which specific? You're shooting the mom's heads off. Or you're shooting the bad guy that's on fire. Right?
No, I'm shooting the monster, like the horrible.
Yeah, the main crazy
winged-
monster. Okay. It already has not shaken. Okay, so it's going to be shaken. It's going to spend one of its remaining bennies. It'll have one left to shake that off. You shoot it. Tell me why it doesn't kill it. What happens?
I think I was aiming to put one right between the eyes, or like in its gullet, and then just the flamethrower, like I just feel it slip a little bit, so she just adjusts her aim enough to just like hit it fully in the shoulder, but it's not quite where she wanted it to go.
Nice. So yeah, you recover the flamethrower. It gets hit in the shoulder, spins off to the side, but at this point, it's its turn to react. It is going to literally plow forward, and if I'm thinking about the order right, it is John and Nate, although you stepped in front to get this flamethrower, so you're there. So it's going to come in, and it is going... let's do it this way.
Hi.
What is your parry, Ash?
Not good. 5.
Give me a vigor roll, please. Or I'm sorry, what am I saying? A spirit roll. I'm very sorry. Oh, nice. So this thing moves in. The couple things you notice is at the end of its sort of wingtip things, it's got these like spurs. And they're incredibly sharp, dark, gnarly things, and that apparently is where some of these little mealy things are at, just for reference. It comes in, though, and looks at you, and for a quick second, the camera sees Ash's eyes go white as they lock eyes, and it goes... And you feel yourself getting really dizzy, but you shake it off. You feel very weak. Just so you know, if you fail one of these spirit rolls, you lose 1 die of spirit. When you get beyond D4, you're dead. Keep in mind.
I
So,
don't like that.
no, so you just, what do you say when you shake it off? You feel yourself? Well, like what is the one-liner that Ash provides us with?
She just kind of shakes it off, and I think she still has got her cigarette in her mouth, so she just... Not today, motherfucker.
And it opens up that giant lamprey mouth, like, how dare you resist me? So it, again, has 1 wound. It has shaken off the shaken bit. It has 1 Benny left, and its action is over. That brings us, let me see. Ash, who did I miss? It's John and then Nate. Yeah. John, what do you do?
So to clarify, if one was to only have a D4 of spirit, that's not a great
You will die.
thing.
But you
Okay,
don't know
cool.
that. I do, though.
Right.
Yeah, you'll die. That's a shame.
Yeah, I see this thing on a whole next level from the mom's head that was just in my face. That's no longer in my face.
No, yeah, it is off and on because Nate's swinging it around trying to get it off his arm.
On the peripheral, the head keeps coming by. I'm gonna step up next to Ash, who's getting like her soul sucked here, and I'm going to fan the hammer with my remaining bullets and the other gun. So
Okay.
I'm gonna deplete all my ammo here, and try to do that.
All right.
So 1, 2,
Jeez, come
3,
on with all
4, 5, 6, 38.
38. What is wrong
What?
with you, John? Let's roll back up. Look, could you
He was
scroll?
already dead.
Normally I don't like roll 20, but I'll take that.
Anyone who plays my games loves Roll20 because this is the kind of look at this stream. Do you see this? What they did? Let's see. So it was Ash. So now we have one raise,
I hit everything?
2 raise, 3, 4.
Do you get multiple rays on one roll?
You can't. No, not really.
Oh, okay.
I'm not doing that right now. I need this. I need one of you to suffer. All right. So roll damage, please, on the ones. You had raises 4, and please do bonus damage, which should roll 1d6 as well.
Okay.
Let me just check one thing.
Is that doing... Okay, yeah, it already has the bonus damage on there. So, okay, so that's
Oh,
2,
it did. Nice. All right.
3. So I got raises on 4 of the 6.
Okay. So,
these.
yeah, you're like pow, 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 and bullets are piercing the leather kind of leather wing situation, but then there's one that catches it square in the neck, and it starts bleeding very heavily. It takes another wound, so it's up to 2 wounds. It will also be shaken, and it's going to spend its last Benny. It's enraged. It's not spending it offensively. It's just like, I've got to stay in the fight. So it is now no more bennies for the bad guy. For this particular one, anyway. There's a few of them out there, I think I mentioned. So, yeah.
If that happens and it's still alive, I'm like pretty confident. Like I feel really good close range fanning the hammer.
Yeah.
Like it's perfect. And
It's,
then
it's
I
like
see
a
it's
horror
still
movie, John. It's,
alive.
no, it's like, so let's just say it's kind of like a horror movie, right? It's pow, 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 pow. And then you crumple it. And it's down there and it's got like its wing folded over. And so there's like this moment like you would see in a horror movie where probably the credits are going to roll. And then its pinky flinches or something, right? Like it'll come back.
Yep. And I back up.
You
I was
back
real
up.
confident until I see that move again.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you were like, oh no, it's still alive. That brings us to Nate. Nate, I'm going to assume that right just before your turn starts, you fling the head. Where does it go? What happens to the head when you fling it?
So this creature busted through the front of the train, right? So like there's like this opening here.
The
that's like
side of the train.
the side, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So and I go like this, and it just goes and like right up the side of the train. It's gone.
So like I think to get there too, if like spatially like it kind of bounces off something, it's like a ricochet shot. You're like ba-dong, and it bounces
yeah.
and then out. And,
Yeah, there was no net there. It was just
Yeah,
And it
tumbles, and some weird other earthly life forms just kind of run up and start picking at the flesh. Awesome. So the camera comes back to Nate. What does Nate do with his time?
So I just watched John put this creature down, and maybe I see the pinky wiggle. Maybe I
Notice
don't.
check. Notice check, and you'll know.
Yeah.
No Benny on this one though. Yep, you do. Yeah, you glance and actually, it's not the pinky so much as you see its muscles bristle. It's like yeah.
I grip onto my cane real tightly, and I walk over and I go, "No, you don't, you son of a bitch!" And I turn that handle and just press it right up against his skin and try to blast into his body.
+4 for point blank range, and give yourself a Benny for a good one-liner. Ash, I owe you one too, I think. It's like for every 3 or 4 Ash one-liners, has to get a Benny.
And that's a shooting roll?
Yep, shooting at +4. How's that possible?
Yeah, it wasn't at +4.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I didn't actually add the +4.
Oh, okay. So yeah, but you come up and you just give me the damage roll, please.
Yep. And just need to double check, but I think it's 1d6. Oh, no, 1d6. Actually, did I set this up? I did set it up.
Ooh, okay. So Tell me why it doesn't. It's okay. I'll tell you why. So it kind of looks up at you. You're like, oh, and it looks up at you, and its eyes just like tighten. It's like stares right into your eyes, and then just as you go to pull the trigger, it's like, whew, and you blow like part of its ear and like the side of its head off, just and spatter it all over the wall. But you do not, in fact, defeat its toughness unless you want to spend a Benny. You have Benny?
I just got a Benny for that awesome one-liner, so I think it'd be silly not to do it, right?
Why did I give that to you? Okay, you can reroll damage. Oh no, you got to raise, you dick. Okay, so different story. So its eyes narrow and they glaze over completely white, and you just start to feel really dizzy. And as you pull the trigger, you blow its head just like 1980s horror movie explosion all over the back of the car wall. It falls to the ground dead for now. So Dobbs, I think that brings us back to Dobbs. So Dobbs, you're there holding this thing, and I think you're like, come on, and you look and you glance, and there's this moment where you hear this thing fall, and you give me a notice check just to see if you're sure it's dead. That makes sense.
Crap.
Yes, the wild die saves you with a 9. So you glance and you kind of like look past all the chaos and the fire and whatnot, just as this thing's head explodes everywhere. So you can use that knowledge to color your action. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna start moving towards them. Like I'm gonna back up now. Now that I did the press move. Now I'm gonna back up.
Okay, you're gonna hang on to the door?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So.
Yeah, because I mean, is there anything like here that I could like prop the door up against, or like
nothing that would, if they decided to push on it, it would just fall over. So, but yeah, you could lean it up if you wanted to.
But they would have to want to. They would have to want to push on the flaming door.
Yep.
And that's probably not a good idea for them.
No, it's true.
Are the doors like sliding doors, or do they open in and out, or?
So they were. The door was basically like a folding door, like an accordion door.
An accordion door.
Yeah, exactly.
So
2 panels.
Okay, so it's like an accordion door. Does it fold into the compartment or out of the compartment? Like when it folds
in.
In shit. Okay. Fuck.
But it fell out.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It was leaning. I'll assume that when you picked it up, it could be whatever way you'd like. I don't care. That's fine.
Okay, so if it folds, can I just stand it up?
Sure. Yeah.
Just stand it up, and then I'll just leave it
and let
far.
it.
I guess it would fall over, but I mean, if I tilted it like a V, wouldn't it stand up?
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna ask for let me
athletics.
Yeah, let's do athletics because it's on fire, and you should balance things for a living. You literally are like, okay, it teeters for a second, and you just tap it. You've avoided so far touching the really burny parts, and it's starting to burn the ceiling now, and the whole cart, if you look around, is just a fucking flaming mess. But yeah, it will stand there for let's say 6 rounds before it is not structurally okay anymore from the fire.
I was like, it's time to go.
You turn and head toward the front.
Mm-hmm.
You catch up with the team. The team is there, guys. What are the rest of you doing?
Oh, that's what I've been trying to say. Let's get a move on. Come on.
Yes. Are you guys good to go for another little minute?
I'm good.
Everybody?
Yeah, probably got like 20 or so.
Yeah, that's actually perfect. Can I take a quick second for,
of course.
because I've been very excited to play this game, and I started the stream needing to pee. So
good news is I fixed my computer.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
We made it, folks. We're here.
I'm going to leave the audio
did it.
on, but I'll be right back.
We just hang out with chat.
Yeah. I actually managed to fix my other computer. Somehow it changed my monitor setting to VGA. on its own. Like no one touching it. Like it was on HDMI and then it went to VGA.
Weird.
Like I could not switch it earlier, but
I'm not surprised with all the different cursed things going on tonight.
Right? Like how does that change? How does it just get changed? Maybe I bumped it or something with like the light, or because I have like a tripod light that stands up like on that edge.
Yeah, maybe.
And I somehow or it reset when I rebooted my computer. Some default setting or something. I don't know.
Microsoft Teams now, look, I swear I have a new problem every single day. It's a different problem every day. But
yeah, because like while I can play with just this little small screen on my phone, maybe like I can't run the vampire game tomorrow on that.
Ooh,
not gonna work. I was about to have a long night of trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah, when we did an Extra Life stream 2 weekends ago, I think it was, and we did a Star Wars Edge of the Empire campaign just to start off, and using Foundry and streaming and having the virtual books up and stuff. It's like everything is covered. I wouldn't be able to run it even on, I don't think, 2 monitors at that point. So
yeah, right.
It's crazy.
So I've gone to having my laptop here for Roll20 and other stuff because there's just too much happening on the stream machine.
Yeah.
Well, holy crap. The Cherry Blossom Pie says hi to Len. She's wicked, like really wicked late. Like if I'm being honest, it's pretty late.
Very late, but it's okay. I know that she was busy playing Baldur's Gate, so I can't be mad.
Oh, fair point. But listen, she missed. You have to rewind because Lynn, she did bad things. She did bad things. She has burned down a bunch of shit. Man.
A little bit of arson.
She's getting. I think you're getting back at me for letting your fellow players describe dead people to you last episode.
I'm gonna burn it all down. I hate it.
It's fine. It's gone. I don't even care.
Reasonable.
All right. So, So you have blown the brains, or if there were some, of this one creature. I'd like to remind you that the car you were in is being systematically torn apart, but it's also on fire. And so the camera, think about the helicopter camera again. There's this moment where the flames are starting to just kind of like lick up from the windows and the ceiling or whatever. And this thing that was digging its way in, yet another one of these creatures, just is like, and it recoils and flies off, pissed off. So well done, Len.
All according to plan.
You get to the door of this car, which leads to another car full of who the fuck knows what. I didn't plan that far. We'll see. Who's in the front?
I think Ash was technically, but yeah, I'm happy to run forward into the next car and try to usher everybody. And getting to the connector between the cars, seen a couple movies in my day. How easy is it to realistically detach a car?
I'm gonna say it's a strength roll at -2.
Well, we do have a Dobbs. Which is nice.
Yeah. Well, then it's like it's kind of like flossing his teeth. But yeah, you would know that it's going to require some elbow grease. And give me a smarts check just to make sure that you know how to do it.
Oh, actually, this is one I'm not terrible at.
What, smarts?
Yeah.
Dobbs. Okay. Never mind. Hang on. Okay, Byron, tell me why Dobbs knows everything there is to know about trains. Give me the story.
Why does he know everything there was about trains?
Everything there is to know, because with a raise, man, you know it.
Because before he was incarcerated for killing that man with his bare hands for talking about his mother, he used to be lugging rail on his back. He would hold the steel rails and help when they were building it. Then they had them Chinese fellas was always banging the spikes in, but
can we get to the part about the train and not the rail?
Well, then he was around them all the time, you know, and then nobody could ever, so he would pull them together and put the pin in and stuff like that because he was just dumb.
I love it. We have this moment where we're just inside of Dobbs' head. And he's remembering like the scene on the, he's like carrying the rails. I love that. Thank you for that, Byron. Give yourself an extra Benny, please. You're going to need it, maybe. Okay, so Dobbs, you know how to do this pin thing. What do you guys want to do?
Yeah, my thing is, hey, let's get to this next car. Detach this flaming inferno with zombies. It's not like we want to go back there. We're going to have to face something up here, but at least there's not that behind us.
And
Sounds great.
Because I've used John's narrative to trigger events all a session long, as soon as you say, we don't want to go see what's back there, the fucking door falls over and the mob starts heading. One of them catches on fire or whatever. Dobbs. So you move through it's easy enough to step through. I'm not going to make you guys roll. I think it's fair to say that in the state you're in, you can hop over the little juncture there. Dobbs, give me why would I ask for this? Give me a strength roll, please. Okay. What does it look like? So the car is flaming and flaming more. And the more, interestingly, I'm going to just give this to Ash, only Ash. The more of these dead things that encounter the Ghost Rock fire, it flares up, almost like a Christmas tree on fire. It's like just angry. Just food for thought. Dobbs, what does it look like when you pull the pin?
So at first it's just like, it's really hard because it's rusted, because it's never like, whatever. So he kind of kicks it with his boot a couple times, and then there's a special thing. And if you're not around terrains, you don't understand. You got to give it a little twist, And so he just twists it a little bit and then pulls it out. And as he pulls out, he kind of falls back and falls down because it's really hard to pull it.
So what I love is you guys are all gathered there, and he's like, and there's like all this that's just happened, and he's like, let me just explain this basic lesson to you guys. And athletics checks for those of you who are not Dobbs. Just for my
is this for jumping over the train car?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is Ash. So Ash is there with her cigarette and her flamethrower in there, and she's looking, and he's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And both John and Nate duck to the side, and he hucks this thing, smashes your cigarette into your face, and leaves it like a soot mark. And this is where we'll end the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Here on Myth Brigade, I'm so happy to have played with you guys tonight. Let's do it again and not wait a year. I love you guys. See ya.